everybody. We are back, and joining the panel is music journalist Emilie Hanskamp, who is a part of our team. Welcome back, Emilie. Okay, you'll understand why, because there's a video out that has now racked up over 1 million views. It's Grammy-nominated Canadian singer J.P. Saxe, and he got brutally honest with his fans about the state of his upcoming tour. Take a look.
I'm extremely embarrassed to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. If I don't sell 20 or so thousand tickets to my tour in the next 48 hours, it's going to be canceled. But just in case you were waiting till the week of or night of to buy a ticket, that approach just isn't going to work because there won't be a show to buy a ticket to.
So he later posted an update to that video, and although he did end up selling about 1,000, 2,000 tickets after that post, unfortunately, as you heard, it was not close to the 20,000 that he needed, so he did have to cancel the tour anyway. So touring, artists, money. Emilie, what do you make of this sad situation?
Yeah, it is a sad situation. I want to talk about this from the framework of this quote-unquote failure to success dichotomy that we've built in the music industry, because whose failure is this? Is this the individual artist who is breaking their back, making the art we consume, becoming a promoter, a social media influencer, their own road crew? Is it their fault, or is it an industry who repeatedly will not adapt quickly enough or well enough to these mounting threats of streaming, of AI, of the rising cost of touring? It has become impossible. And then on the flip side of that spectrum, what is success? Artists, contrary to maybe popular belief, are not all vying for that Taylor Swift billion-dollar tour number. They're trying to make a living. They're trying to pay their rent. So that is a success. It's someone J.P. Saxe is not asking to be a billionaire. He's asking to sell tickets to the fans who see him online to be engaged with his music, but that conversion is not there.
May I ask a question? But was part of the problem trying to sell out a 20,000-seat stadium? Why wouldn't he start? He's not a household name.
You're totally right. It's a problem we keep on seeing because promoters, bookers, agents, they become obsessed with these online metrics. So on one side of the coin, you have artists who are being told to become a social media influencer as well as an artist. Then on the flip side, if they have a viral moment, if they have hundreds of thousands of followers, it could be one song, even one little snippet of a verse of a song that people think will translate into filling venues. And unfortunately, that does not work much of the time. And so I think what we're finally seeing is this industry that has been evolving for decades on this really fragile foundation is starting to crumble, because if we don't prioritize longevity in art for artists and music, it's not going to work for everybody.
I have a
I
question.
see this so
We all have
differently.
questions.
Yeah, I see this so differently. I thought that video was a little cringe. I think begging people to come to your concert for me is a little bit cringy. You should have used that video before you started your tour to tap in and play your music. He has an asset that artists in the past did not have. Tina Turner did not have an Instagram account or a TikTok account or a YouTube channel where she could promote. She had to solely depend on these people in this industry. He has both. He has personal control, and also he has a whole machine behind him. So I feel like I'm not really buying it. Also, some of these venues, I've seen artists come to this city, and I'm like, why are you going to this very large venue? If I were a newer artist, or even an established artist who hadn't been on tour in a long time, I'd be like, put me in the smaller venue. I'd rather sell out in the smaller venue. If I'm going to the bigger venue, because I'm also seeing some new artists with some price tags to their concerts. You have one album and you want $400 for your concert? You have one album, I only know one really good song. I think like Meg Thee Stallion did a stadium tour, but she made sure that the tickets were affordable. They were under $100, so it looked like she sold out, and it was a smarter thing to do.
So I want to hear this.
If I may, the Tina Turner comparison, I understand where you're coming from, but Tina Turner also wasn't competing with over 100,000 songs being released every single day on streaming platforms. Tina Turner also wasn't dealing with the closure and bankruptcy of almost all mid-range and small the venues are talking about. They're going extinct right now because the trickle-down money is not coming down. So I totally understand what you're saying. It's easier than ever to make music, but it's harder than ever to be found, discovered, and to find that loyalty with fans.
Okay, I can ask a really basic question, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to him. Like, I think he's a Grammy-nominated artist, so clearly somebody likes his music, or at least artistically thinks he's worth something. But does that translate, like, is he even popular singer?
I think that's a really good question. So subjective because you could have someone. I was reading an interview with Rolly Pemberton, who's Cadence Weapon.
He's been on our show.
You know, he was talking about, you know, he had his most famous song over 1 million views. It translated to not even like $7,000 over the course of 7 years, and it didn't translate in that way. So it's the numbers. Yeah, the numbers don't necessarily translate. It could also be
sales.
1 billion streams could be from around the world. Well, who's coming to your local Saskatchewan show?
Yeah, it's the only industry in the world that I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe there are other examples, but like back in the day, in our day, you liked an artist, you would go and you would spend money on an album or a CD, and you would own that. Let's say you spent like between $20 and $50 on a month if you're a music fan, and that's not even including the concerts. Now it's cheaper for me to stream for the $12.99 a month. I can have access to
the
all
world's music.
of the music. So this to me is like a Pandora's box. And once that model came about, it's no wonder that artists are being exploited in a whole new way.
If we're all being taught to devalue music, if we're all being taught that a song is worth less than 1 cent, which is what Spotify pays artists, then how are we now supposed to pivot collectively and pay $80 for a concert ticket or more, whatever it may be? We've now kind of gotten ourselves, or the higher ups have gotten us in a position, the major labels and the streaming giants, where it's going to be not impossible, but very hard for us all to pivot here.
Wow,
Interesting
fascinating. Think about that
conversation.
the next time you think about supporting your favorite artist, right?
Yeah.
Emilie, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.